Happy 2025. I am here to talk to you about how to set business goals. Because this is the beginning of the year, it's a really good time to goal set. Tody, you don't have to go outside. I know, but you just went outside, and I know you don't have to go. Okay, sorry. This applies to any time of the year. It doesn't have to happen at the beginning of the year. I've been goal setting for my business and my personal life at the beginning of the calendar year for the past probably 8 years. And I really like this time of year to do it. But you can choose any time of year. If you're watching this in September, April, whenever, that can be when you start your year. Well, by the time this goes out, it'll be the middle of January. It's still not too late. I think you should do it now. Everyone says like the best time to start goal setting or anything is 10 years ago, and the second best time is now. I'm gonna turn this light off. Do you think I should turn this light off? So here's how you're gonna start goal setting. And this is the most fun part, in my opinion. The first thing you need to do is you have to figure out like what you want. And this is a really hard question to answer. I particularly find it hard to answer this question when I'm in the weeds of my business. When things are really busy, I can't really answer what I want. So you're gonna have to give yourself a little bit of time and space to figure this out, however it makes sense for you. So you're gonna do a writing activity. You are going to get your head clear however you have to, and then you're gonna sit down with a pen and paper. You can also type it out, make a cup of coffee, have some tea, and you are going to pretend that it's 5 years from now. And you are going to write a day in your life as you would be living it 5 years from now. You're gonna get really specific. You are going to give yourself permission to dream big. You can be as delusional as you want. You should be delusional. Actually, I did this activity like 8 years ago. I woke up, I fed my dog. At the time I didn't have a dog, but in my dreams I had a dog. So I woke up, I fed my dog. I went surfing because I lived somewhere that had access to the ocean. I don't surf, by the way. That's what I'm saying, be delusional. Then I had meetings with collaborators for a design project I was working on. You're gonna get really specific about this. Write down your dream collaborators. Like maybe it's Anthropologie, maybe it's New Works, maybe it's Big Bud Press, maybe it's Martha Stewart. Go crazy, it's a dream, so have fun and like let yourself dream big. Are you married? Are you living in a polycule? Do you have 1 million dogs? Do you breed horses? So get really specific. Is this cheesy? Yeah, it is a little cheesy, okay? Is it embarrassing? Yeah, it's a little embarrassing. Is it cringe? Maybe, I don't care. And you might not know what you want because you're running a business, you're wearing 1 million different hats, and you can't get clear with what you actually want because you're so caught up in the grind. You have to let go of the judgment, which is really hard for me because I'm not such a woo-woo person. So permission to be cringe, just do it. And then read over it and think about it. And some people recommend like sealing it up into an envelope and addressing it to your future self. I did this activity a while ago. Somewhere I have this letter or this day in my life, but I don't live anywhere near the ocean. I don't surf. When it's summer in Chicago, I swim a lot. But it did give me this idea of what my business could be like. In this dream, I realized, oh, I'm collaborating with people. I'm working as a team with people. And I don't think I really knew that I wanted that until I did this exercise. So now I know with my business, like, I wanna hire people. I want people to work for me who believe in my business. I wanna collaborate with brands and businesses that I admire. Once you do that, you're gonna have to work backwards. I am a huge fan of quantifiable data. I think it's important to come up with some sort of numbers goal. Fancy people call these KPIs or key performance indicators. if you're working for yourself, it's helpful to have some sort of number in mind. Okay, the next thing that's important with goal setting is you have to have a strategy. So I can say I want to make $1 million in profit, but if I don't have a strategy to do that, and I made $5,000 in profit last year, and I'm just like saying the number, that's not enough. You have to work backwards. I like to break my goals down quarterly and monthly. And I'm gonna go through my goals with you and talk about what my long-term goals are and how they break down into the month of January. Okay, so I keep my long-term goals and my monthly goals in Notion, but I've also found that it's been helpful to write them down. These are my January goals, and they're at the beginning of my January month in my planner. I'm gonna just talk about me specifically, and this might help you. Because I'm a product-based business, you can steal this idea, but I have 4 different buckets for my work life: business and operations, product development, marketing and content, and creative and artistic growth. Okay, so my 2025 master plan, I have a few different business and financial goals for the whole year. The first one is a specific profit goal, which I don't feel comfortable sharing because it's embarrassing. But in order to reach that goal, I need to streamline my operations and I need to hire an assistant. Okay, take that larger goal and look at January. It's not a great time to hire a 20-hour-a-week operations assistant right now because it's a slower time, and I also have part-time assistants that come in 6 hours each. So because it's a slower time and I don't have a ton of revenue coming in, I am gonna hold off on hiring this 20-hour-a-week person until this spring. But I do have goals that I'm working towards in January that will help me when it's time to hire. I've broken it down into smaller chunks. So my goal for January was to write the job description and figure out what the compensation will be and what the schedule will be. Okay. Hire a bookkeeper. Hire a bookkeeper is part of my 2025 master plan. For January, I wanted to do a bookkeeper search and hire somebody to do all of my 2024 bookkeeping. And if that works out, I will hire them on to be my 2025 bookkeeper. So now I am offloading all of my bookkeeping tasks to somebody else. And that means I can focus on the higher level things in my business that other people can't do, like product development, filming content, making this YouTube video. Moving into the product development bucket of my career, product development. So I have mapped out the year to have 4 product launches, and they're spread pretty evenly throughout the year. So in March, I'll have a ceramic themed shop update. I find it's really helpful to plan this stuff out and even put the launch dates on the calendar. You can pencil them in if they don't, so that way there's some flexibility. Right now, I'm planning for my March product launch to happen on Monday, March 17th. But I haven't advertised that yet, and I still have a little bit of flexibility to zoom into January. I have a product launch in March. I would like to have everything designed and ordered from my inventory suppliers by the end of the month. So that means that in January, I need to plan the Clay People launch. I need to finalize concepts and do the design work for 2 new t-shirts, 4 new stickers, and 1 sweatshirt. And all that's written down, and I know that in the next couple of weeks, that is going to be my top of line priority. Okay, the next bucket is marketing and content. I have a KPI for YouTube. I want to grow my subscribers to a specific number. I want to have a bi-weekly newsletter. I want to send out a newsletter bi-weekly. That's so confusing. I want to have a twice a month newsletter. I want one to be essay, like personal essay style, which I find really fun to do. And I want the second one to be more sales focused. So in terms of January, what does that mean? That means I need to have 2 newsletters go out in January. It means I need to be consistent with YouTube. My goal is to aim for 1 video a week and to outline my topics. this is the outline for the video you're watching right now. Okay, and Instagram Reels and strategy, that's kind of slower in January, but I do have a little custom offering for February. So that's my marketing focus for Instagram in the month of January. Okay, now finally, creative and artistic growth. I like to keep a strict boundary between my creative and artistic growth and my business, but they are super correlated. If I'm creatively and artistically fulfilled, then I'm gonna show up to my business happy. Creative and artistic growth as a art-based business is so important, and it's the first thing that falls to the wayside. I like to draw so much, and I used to draw every single day. Last year, I barely drew. I think I filled up 2 sketchbooks. So one of my goals is to draw every day. I would like to also build a body of work for a solo show. And I want to protect and bucket out time for this creative growth. And right now, I've been taking Monday and Wednesday as my art days in the studio. And in January, I want to make 2 pieces that I can photograph for this show application, because in February, I'm applying for a solo show at a gallery that I really admire. So that's how my yearly goals are breaking down monthly. And it's really helpful if you take your year goals that you figured out because of your sort of dreaming, manifesting, woo-woo, letter writing, day in your life activity. You figured out what your yearly goals are, and then you're breaking them down month by month. And then you're gonna get really comfortable with self-assessment. On Tuesday, February 4th, I will have my January review where I will look at my January goals and check in. The hidden secret tool that you can put in your toolbox is help. You should ask for help as much as possible. I have always loved asking for help from coaches. I've hired coaches in the past. I've taken all kinds of self-employment classes to varying degrees of success. 2 years ago, I hired Betsy Cortez, whose company is called February 13th Creative. And she worked with me in goal setting and accountability, and we met virtually. I really recommend her. Last year, I did a 1-hour coaching session with the Peach Fuzz. They run a really successful product-based business and have hourly coaching sessions, which I just checked, they're $120, and I think that's a great deal. My recommendation for doing this kind of thing is I would go into the meeting with a lot of really specific questions. If you want to grow your wholesale this year, ask them about wholesale. Ask them, what's your highest margin wholesale item? What designs do you think work best? Ask them to look at your website and critique it. There are so many ways that you can get specific with the help that you're seeking, but get specific with the help that you're seeking and come in with a full list of questions in order of importance, because you might find that you're never going to get to everything. So make sure you are going in with clarity on what you really want to get out of that session. Finally, I think that another great way and free way to get accountability and advice is to start a small business group. 2 years ago, I started a mastermind group with some of my friends who also have product or service-based businesses, but they were all art-based businesses. I had some qualifications for who I wanted to be in the group. I wanted them to be, they could be product or service-based businesses, but I wanted them to be art-based businesses because they would understand the specific struggles I had with balancing an art practice and a business. And I wanted them to be full-time. That was where I was at in my business. So I wanted to talk to people who were willing to get very real about financials. So you can set the parameters however you want, but this was an invaluable resource for me. And the way we set it up was we did sort of a rose, thorn, and question model. Basically, we met once a month. We chose something that we wanted to celebrate, and this is important. It seems easy to skim by, but it's really helpful to look back at your month and find something that you're proud of and tell your community that you're proud of it, and then get some accolades. Then we chose like a thorn, something that wasn't going well in our business, something we were struggling with. The third thing was questions, like it could be based on what you're struggling with, or if you want specific feedback on a comic you're working on or a t-shirt design. Each person got 10 minutes to talk without interruption, and then open the floor to 10 minutes of conversation with the group. We found that really helpful, and feel free to borrow that structure. But doing that group gave me not only solidarity with other business owners, but I met some of my best friends through it. I reached out to people that I knew but didn't know super well, and we've become really close because of it. And your business is a pretty intimate thing, so make sure you find people that you trust and that you feel safe with. Okay. The best time to start setting goals for your business is right now. Before you turn this video off, I think you should like it and comment about how good you think it was, or with any questions that you have. And then I think you should close your computer and close your eyes and start to visualize what you want for your business and write it all down. How cool would it be to, in 5 years from now, look back on everything you've already accomplished, or even reflect on how much your goals have changed? So I'm wishing you all a great, productive 2025, and I hope that all of your business dreams come true. Thanks for watching.